And we're going to start off with the Rogue versus the Warlocks. So I'm going to assume the bans did not happen as I thought they would.
We have turned our curse into our strength.
So it looks like Warlock was banned out for Shusky, and the Shaman was banned out for AWOL Nation, and I think that's going to come out and hurt Shusky in the end here. So. So we're going to start off here, the Rogue versus the Warlock, which I think is Rogue favored. And these sprints, I don't know, I'm still finding it like... He is able to play 2 drops here if he wants it. I don't think you want to. Absolutely not. You should be tapping here, getting them Mountain Giant out next turn. Especially when you have the ability to play it before plants can be played, like a couple turns before plants can be played. Right? He's playing down 3, and then Shusky isn't able to do with anything until at least 5 because he has no coins, and counterfeit coin is gone. So we'll see Hench Clan Thug come out this turn. And he's also going to need a either a backstab to activate it on 5, or the ability to just cold blood something here. So Mountain Giant on 3, perfect. Gastropod. Is Gastropod a part of his list? Naturally a part of his list? You guys have such weird... He does. He has 2 stubborn Gastropods a part of the list. That's an interesting tech. I haven't seen that one before. It does give him the ability to... I gotta assume it's very good in the mirror. Right? Just the ability to get rid of your opponent. You play an 8/8, especially if you're on turn 3, and then on turn 4 they play an 8/8, and then you just play a Gastropod. So it causes so many problems. I almost maybe would have liked to have seen the second Hench Clan Thug come out there. Twilight Drake into... Yeah, I just see a Twilight Drake come out, trade it off. And this is unfortunate now for Shusky. He's fallen behind on board. He has no ability to play out a Vile Spine. So I think we're just going to see second Hench Clan Thug. Or Firefly SI Agent? I don't know. Now I think it's got to be SI Agent, and you push the SI Agent against the Twilight Drake or the face. Should not have played the Firefly this turn. It does the exact same thing as the Hench Clan Thug, as hero powering the face. And you're going to be trading off against 8 damage here anyways, right? But Shusky needed to calm down. It's okay, man. You're in the finals. You've been here before. You could do it again. You got this, man. And AWOL's hand is just full of 2 drops, actually. So I think he's going to, like, I mean, you're trading off the Hench Clan Thug anyways. You could Homunculus, coin out Spellstone on there, and then push 4 damage to the face. I like double Homunculus a little more. Get more stats onto the board. Shusky has no ability. Like, there's no huge swings that he has here. The Flame Elemental Vile Spine is going to be good. Good way to help clean up the board a little bit. But so we got, what, Hooked Reaver this turn? Yeah. 4 mana, 7/7. Bump. Bump. Oh, that Stubborn Gastropod. I like this tech, actually. I think it's really strong. Does get the first spider out, which is really not the best here for Shuski. Let's see here. So I think we're gonna sap something. Do you sap the gastropod? Just a 2-mana card? You lose tempo. Like it's like the same amount of tempo, really. But I mean, because you have the spider, you can't just ignore it, right? So I think you sap the gastropod. Nah, you want to get rid of that hooked reaver.
This guy's toast.
I guess he still has the ability to Cold Blood Vile Spine it next turn as soon as it comes out again. So maybe, I don't know, he has the sprint as reload here. I don't mind that play from Shuski. I think it was a very heads-up play. Hellfire? Hellfire into Hooked Reaver, alright. So what do we need? I think that both Fireflies were used. I think one Firefly was used for sure. Oh, it does pick up the second one, so only one Firefly was used. So he gets the Firefly into Vile Spine. And then probably just Redagger, I'm assuming. You want to try and save this, I think, for draw with Elven Minstrel. Job's done. So second, say, now comes the dangerous part. Abel, he's running a little bit dry on threats. So I don't know. I maybe would have liked to seen this Rin come out. If you look at the deck lists, if you've been paying attention or have the things open, there is no silence coming out from the rogue. So gives them staying power to actually put out this Rin and just eliminate the decks here, especially once Faldori Striders come in. So I think I'd like to just see him play Sap's a little bit of an odd play at this point in time. It doesn't. The Hooked Reaver is inactive now. So it's not terrible. Yeah, maybe Sap. Next turn, you can always remove it with Cold Bloods and Eviscerates and the second Flame Elemental, so I wouldn't mind Sap. So gets rid of the weapon, plays out the Rin. I think this is the best play, yeah. Spider Ambush number 1. No second Spider Ambush. Needs another one. I think that was 2? So, I think you needed one more. I think he's got one more in there, right? This is the second Spider. So, you probably want to play Faldori Strider, Eviscerates, and at least one of the Cold Bloods here. Could even Elven Minstrel and double Cold Blood. But Sap makes more sense in my opinion, yeah. I think Sap made more sense last turn. I was a little hesitant, but it did end up making more sense in the long run. And he coins it out, or not, coins it out, the Hero Powers off the Rin. So he needs to Hero Power. So you can Hero Power, Hooked Reaver, and then remove with the Greater Spellstone, I think is the best play here. Gets you the most power on board, puts you up. You know there's no saps left. That was the second sap used. It does get a Mountain Giant as well, though. Ooh. So there's no more so there's no saps and there's no Vile Spines left. So he physically has to physically has to do this. Physically has to find a way through this Hooked Reaver. So you need to get this Hooked Reaver in there. Otherwise, Shuski's going to manage to push through. Especially with Leroy Jenkins. Oh, so much damage in hand. I think that's lethal anyways, right? It doesn't matter at this point in time. You play, oh yeah, that's absolutely lethal. So you play Leroy, you Cold Blood, you Eviscerate, it doesn't matter at this point in time. Yeah. Double counting his damage, good work, Shuski. And we're going to see Shuski take down the game number 1. I feel like he's trolling me now. So I play Leroy Jenkins, Eviscerate, Trade, Cold Blood Leroy Jenkins, and it gives you exactly 14. You have 15 damage. There we go. Figures it out. Just as AWOL is starting to snowball the board in his favor. Oh, he's gonna go with the VM play. 2 extra damage. Super important. Forgot to dagger attack as well while he was waiting for it to come back. So missed out on 1 damage. 1 damage miss OP. Shuski taking down game number 1. So I mean, at this point in time, I think against an Inner Fire Priest, you're probably wanting to play. It doesn't matter at this point in time. I think you're both equally the same. So you probably want to just play it off with your rogues. Switch over your rogues so that you go into game 3 with a little bit of momentum if you can power out the win. I'll give you guys another couple minutes on the betting system. I see just Rex TD is the only person who's bet so far. 10 minutes in the future for you guys. But Shuski, I mean, he's been able to squeeze one out with that rogue. I think he only was able to play 1 of the sprints, but so it seems like it's kind of iffy. I still think I feel like the Auctioneer is the better play here. Like it just gives you so much more draw, and it gives you the 4/4 body, which is the most important part. Otherwise, you're kind of in the same boat with the Warlock, where you eventually start to run out of threats. And having an Auctioneer on board is such a big threat. It does give the opponent the ability to remove it, but if they can't remove it, you basically just have infinite draw. So, that being said, AWOL does move over to the rogue. And Shuski has the ability, I think you just like to see him mulligan everything away except for the Twilight Drake. Keep the Twilight Drake. It's such a strong starting minion in almost every single deck. AWOL does get a really strong starting hand, though. Crazed Alchemist. I keep forgetting to compare this this Inner Fire Priest with the list that I'm running. I think I'm going to be doing some grind. Oh, I got so much stuff to do. I was going to do some grind, but I have some work to do, so I might go and do my cleanup from camping and then come back and do some ladder grind if anybody is on later. So Shuski, not a whole lot you can do here. I mean, you're not coining out Shadow Visions, and you're not putting a powered shield on your opponent's minion in a Fire Priest deck, so. Primordial Drake, not enough. I think you should heal the face. Dark Anduin. Since when is Anduin dark? Why is he so purple? Powered shield? I think you just pick up a second powered shield here, yeah? Grabs Shadow Madness. There's not a whole lot of 3 attack minions on the side of Rogue, and I think that is not the best pickup here. I definitely think Powered Shield was the choice there. There's an argument for picking up Silence, because there are a couple minions that can get Silence, such as Henchman Thug, Edwin Van Cleef, Auctioneers. He could be double drawing this turn, right? Like that could be a 7 health Radiant Elemental that all of a sudden does not get traded off very well with the Henchclan Thug. So he's debating using the Divine Spirit, which I don't know about that play. It does lower your ability to just crush it out later.
I must consider.
The crush it out being damage, deeps, the stuff, the juice. So that's a pretty easy trade here. He gets to. You can also backstab ship. Backstab eviscerate will get rid of that target. Should be wanting to save it though. So I think. Oh, excuse me. I think just hero powering down, giving a weapon attack against the elemental, trade it off, or a weapon attack to face, and then just use the trade and then redagger. I think this does the same thing in the long run. You're pushing 5 damage to face now, so or 6 damage, but it gives you the ability to push it real good. Now you have the backstab to activate File Spine if need be. Twilight Drake's going to come out, but we'll probably see backstab File Spine. 6 more damage push to face, and like I said, I think this is pretty heavily, or not heavily rogue favored, but just not the best draw here from Shusky. And not picking Powered Shield definitely hurt him a lot. Does have the ability to Cabal next turn. Not that I think he can Cabal anything. He can Cabal the 1-2 if he wants. Yeah, not a whole lot you can do here. You could coin Cabal Concede. Chris Alchemist doesn't really do much.
I must consider.
How much was he facing here? So he's facing no burst from AWOL's hand though, so he doesn't have any ability to close out the game right now. So yeah. Where's the concede? He forgot the concede part of my plan. Shusky's always missing out. Auctioneer prep would be okay. Yeah, let's get some minions drawn out of the deck so that next turn when you play Auctioneer, you have a much stronger chance of pulling, say, like your second Eviscerate or one of the Cold Bloods to just finish off the game. Duskbreaker is active and is a full board cleared as well. So just he is only Leroy Jenkins away from death, but so trade that in there, play Duskbreaker and heal your face, I think is the play here.
I wonder.
And not being able to dagger attack the last couple turns. This could be, I think, a 7-7. I think it's been 2 turns back-to-back where he wasn't able to dagger attack. He was able to get a lot more pressure out on the board, like, for example, Vile Spines and stuff like that. But so that trade. So he wants to trade the Vile Spine in there, right? So that it does. And then he's got to trade the 4-5. So I don't like this play as much. It leaves a 3-2 on board. So Gadgetzin Auctioneer for attempted lethal. Only one spell. Instead, let's put a bunch of 4/4s out. Not quite enough for a double Duskbreaker turn. So he could trade it off there. And I think he's got to.
I wonder.
Yeah. We could have done this last turn and had a 3/3 out on the board. Oh, okay. Can't play a Crazed Alchemist. That's pretty intuitive. I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, I mean, it stops the lethal for now. Prep. And Cold Blood lethal. Alright, so we're going to see AWOL Nation even it up. We're going to go to Game 3 in the finals, guys. This is it. It all comes down to this. 1-on-1, mano a mano. 2 men enter, 1 man leave, 1 woman leave. Did you guys check out that ass on the way by? Yeah, I was inappropriate. I mean, come on. Come on. That was the worst wink I've ever done. I gotta... Okay. There we go. If you're gonna do an over-the-top wink, it's gotta be over the top. Like, horribly over the top. We have 23 players registered. So, we're moving on. The finals. It is Inner Fire versus Warlock. Inner Fire Priest versus our Warlock. They've already reported the game. Instantly, must report the game. The game is over. Report it. And like I said, I think this is pretty heavily Priest favored. Shirsky is running a lot of tech cards that I don't normally run. So he's also running 2 copies of Mass Dispel to be able to push through taunts. Hewell says he played really bad that game. So, I think Awol's got a full mulligan ahead of him. He's thinking about it. There's an argument to keeping the Spellstone eventually. But they're moving in. Stop spoiling it in chat, guys. Does keep the Spellstone in triple. Does end up getting a giant, which is the most important part here. Twilight Acolyte is going to shut that down super fast, though. So Shusky has the stuff he needs to answer it. He just needs to be able to find some earlier game minions. If he had a 1-drop, that'd be nice. Like if he had his NoProsHere Cleric, or even like some of his Loot Hoarders or Radiant Elementals, that would work out really well. So we're going to see Shadow Visions, Divine Spirit, I'm hoping. Yeah. Job's done. Sneaky, sneaky. Just hear about past wars. Oh, the double giant picks up the second giant. Now has both Hooked Reavers or just 1 Hooked Reavers? 1 Hooked Reaver and the Twilight Drake. Also has Dread Inferno. AWOL just picking up all of his top end. So, I mean, does not choose to use a Mountain Giant. Does coin out the this so that he can play the Mountain Giant next turn. So I think I'd just like to see Twilight Drake come out in return. Not as strong, but If it does get ignored, I mean, he could buff this up to 9. Is that 9? 18? He can push 18 damage next turn if he picks up a... Not quite. So, Twilight Acolyte will come in. I wouldn't mind Power Word Shield. What's the series of things here? So yeah, we'll see that swapped. There's the second divine. So we got a lot of elf that could come out of anything. Almost everything here. Okay, what can he do here? Can he silence? I think he had a silence here. Did he not? He did not. I think we just got to see a second mountain giant come out here, and that'll trade off there. And you can push 2 damage to the face with that.
So many possibilities.
So many possibilities. All of the possibilities. That being said, if you don't injure this mountain giant, or this twilight drake, yeah. So 2 draws for lethal here from Shuski. So I think you want to play the Powered Shield here first. To draw. I don't think you want to play the Radiant Elemental because, I mean, you need to draw first, and then you can always play a Twilight Drake just in case you don't draw, pick up the lethal. Inner Fire. Oh, the third one. So I think you, at this point in time, I think you Duskbreaker. And, oh, he can't even heal the Drake again. That's super unfortunate. Yeah, so I think you Duskbreaker here. 3 Divine Spirits. This is the point in time where, like, you get crazy, like, oh, don't play just Lyra on his own. So he's ensuring that this Mountain Giant is basically going to go face, although the Spellstone will help. So we could see an upgraded Spellstone happen. And then, yeah, I like this play for Maywall. I think this is going to be, I think this is a bad mistake here for not playing the Duskbreaker. It does set up a lethal for next turn, right? With a Hellfire in hand. 4 Divines. Where's the Inner Fire? And Shuski has been able to. He's had a couple turns of lethal here, and it's not going to work out for him now. He needs to Duskbreaker and heal himself is the only way he gets out of this alive. 10, 13. Actually, he doesn't need to heal himself. Yeah, he doesn't need to heal himself. Could play a Radiant Elemental. See, now if he had Lyra still in hand and just a Duskbreaker on board instead, he'd have the ability to just trade off Mountain Giants if anything comes out. That being said, like if... damn you, Sunfury Protector. I think Sunfury Protector has to come out here. And then, what else could he play? Hellfire does an awesome job at clearing up this board. And then you can also just throw out a Plated Beetle. Like, I mean, you're setting your opponent to 3. And then you can also set up taunts if you need to. I mean, this is normally, in my opinion, a pretty heavily priest-favored matchup, but this is just an unfortunate draw. Like, I mean, if either of these had been... There's the Dread Infernal. Primordial Drake? And it's the only way he lives, too, is to play that. And I think that's actually a mistake. He could have traded off against this giant and done a full board clear with double Duskbreaker. Just a small mistake. Ah, there we go. Yeah, he could have full cleared the board there. Small misplay. I didn't even see it there till the end, just because he picked up the Primordial Drake. Playing a 4-8 body always seems so nice, but so that's all, guys. We're gonna see a new tournament champion, AWOL Nation. Let's put that in there.